This week on a brand new Strong Arm Sports podcast. They got a responsibility to feed their families and take care of themselves. I know some homies who get up and go punch the clock and put up with bullshit 8 hours a day for $15, $16 an hour. And who am I to tell them not to put up with that to feed their family? And I'm not going to tell these NFL players not to do that to feed their families.
We supposed to be the losers, but we winning though. They used to laugh at us, now we winning though. They used to tell me never in my lifetime. I guess they wasn't in their right mind. Underdog.
What's going on, folks? Welcome back to a brand new exciting episode of Strong Arm Sports Podcast. We're just the realest sport podcast in all the land.
True.
Wait, I don't know if you get it, bro. I mean, in all the land, though.
True.
Okay, if you get it, man, we are back to wrap up the previous week of sports in dramatic fashion. No BS, no sugarcoat, no biases. Just that strong arm truth, that all. Listen, man, if this happens to be the first time you guys have watched our show here on YouTube, or if you're listening on any of our various podcast channels, on one half of the show, I go by the name of KSpadeTheProspect.
And I'm your boy, _57, and together we form Strong Arm Sports Spade.
Yes, sir.
We got a great show for these guys today. A lot of things we got to talk about. Man, matter of fact, never mind. I'm going to jump right into it. We're going to start with the NFL. Spade, let me shock you. Let me shock you.
Uh-oh.
I really don't want to talk. I really don't want to be in the NFL that long this episode.
You've come to your senses.
No. That's not why. Because of some of the topics, you want to be throwing some shade at my team, and I don't appreciate that. But a lot of things happen in the NBA, man. Say it again.
I don't throw shade, bro. I speak them actual.
No, you throw hella shade. But I mean, at least you can throw. At least you ain't Ryan Tannehill. At least you can throw.
Wow, yeah. Let's go ahead and get started because you own it today. I see.
I'm just saying. But I mean, I want to be in the NBA because it's some great topics. You got some great topics for these guys in the NBA. But I'm gonna start in the NFL.
Okay.
And Spade, I'm gonna start in Pittsburgh. If you guys didn't know, it's a guy in Pittsburgh. I mean, I think me and Spade can agree. Definitely one of the top players in the league at his position. And I'm not talking about AB, not talking about Ben Roethlisberger. We're talking about Leveon Bell. We consider Leveon Bell that upper echelon of running back in the NFL. And Leveon Bell is not happy. He won a contract extension. He won a new contract. And Leveon Bell is reported to be holding out. Now, if you guys don't know, organized team activities have been going on. And if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong. Somebody going to correct me in the comment section, but I think I'm right. Organized team activities is like voluntary. You don't really got to show up. Like, they want you to be there, but you don't really got to show up. But Leveon Bell hasn't showed up. And his teammate, Antonio Brown, said he thinks Leveon Bell should be at OTAs. You know, holding out is never the answer. But Leveon Bell isn't expected to show up until September 1st. Now, Spade, I want to get your thoughts on whether or not you think Leveon Bell should show up or not. And then I want to get your thoughts on whether or not you think AB should be speaking on Leveon Bell. Keep in mind, Spade, that for the past 2 years, for the past 2 or 3 years, we've been talking about dudes dropping like flies due to ACL injuries and knee injuries and type of all these different type of injuries happening in OTAs. Look at the Chargers; they just lost Hunter Henry to a knee injury. I think the Eagles lost a linebacker to a knee injury, and I mean they're going for the C's. They're going for the season. Yeah. So Spade, I gotta get your thoughts. One, should Leveon Bell show up? And two, should Antonio Brown be speaking on if Leveon Bell should show up?
I mean, as far as whether or not Leveon should show up, if his agent or his agency, if they feel like this is a strategic measure for him to get the money they feel like he deserves, I don't feel like I got the right to tell him he shouldn't leverage whatever he needs to leverage to try to get his money.
Okay.
I'm not one of those guys. I know a lot of fans come out and go, bro, you already rich. Just play. You playing the game you love. Yeah, at the same time, everybody's got value, and you want to be compensated at your value. I understand that. As far as whether or not AB got the right to speak on it, I think AB is coming from a place of, I think he want to help, bro. Because here's what happened. I think a couple of years back, if I'm not mistaken, I want to say this was 2016 OTAs, but it might be 2017
I think it was 2015. 2015 to be exact, I think.
Okay. Antonio was in this same position. He wasn't really happy with where his money was, and he threatened to hold out. He was going to sit out of OTAs as well, and somebody must have got to him and told him that he needed to do the right thing. And he decided, you know what? He actually had a quote that said something like, you know, I gotta show the team that I'm willing to work through it, and holding out, nothing good comes from holding out, or something like that. I'm sure I didn't say it verbatim. But he ended up going ahead and play, and the Steelers did right by him. They made him an extension, which at the time made him the highest paid annual, anyway, I don't know about total contract, but highest paid annual receiver. I think he had 3 or 4 years at $17 million a year, and then he had like 2 or 3 years at $18 million a year, and that made him number one. He's no longer number one, in case you was wondering. So maybe he feel like, okay, I did this, and the Steelers did right by me, and look, I'm sure he wants Leveon to be taken care of. You want a happy team, a happy Leveon definitely makes that team better. Antonio knows this. So I think he's coming from a good place with it. Like, bro, you need to come on and, you know, go ahead and do the right thing, show up, and they're going to take care of you. That's what I think he's trying to do, bro. I don't know if you agree, but that's what I think.
I'm 50-50 with AB. Because I understand your point, and I agree with you. I don't think AB is like, he need to be, you know, like maliciously trying to call Leveon Bell out. He know Leveon Bell is a major part of that team, and they need him. I understand that. But I don't think AB should be speaking on, you know, especially when it's like, we know why Bell is out. We know football, you got this short lifespan to be, you know, top echelon, you know, top of the top tier. And Leveon Bell, especially at running back, with all the abuse of running back tape, like you got a short lifespan in the league. And I think Leveon Bell, if I'm Leveon Bell, the only reason I show up is because I know how the Steelers do business. The Steelers usually don't extend folk. They don't extend people when they got like a year left on their contract.
Yep.
They don't do that. So I think it's been reports that I think they put the tag on him. They might have franchised Leveon Bell or something. And, you know, you hope, because I actually think Leveon Bell, if not number one, he's definitely number two, top two, in my opinion. I got him at number one. I don't know where you got him, Spade, but Leveon Bell to me is the best back in the league, and I think he deserves to be paid. I just don't think AB should be speaking on, oh, he needs to show up. You know what I mean? The right thing to do is show up. Because you know why? He's holding out. He's holding out because he want more money. You got a short time to cash out in the NFL. And I'm not mad at a player that don't want to risk injury, because they're going, you know, in practice they're going to run Leveon Bell like he Leveon Bell. You can risk injury without that major contract, and you getting franchised on a 1-year deal. And then the next thing you know, the next thing they're going to do, Spade, they're going to be like, oh, well, you're not the same player. You just had a drastic knee injury. You just shredded up your knee, and you're not the same guy. Yep. So I understand both points of view. But if I'm Leveon, I'm waiting too. I'm waiting. You cannot risk injury and potentially risk money, like tens of millions of dollars, not just, you know, not no chump change, tens of millions of dollars. Because Leveon Bell will be one of the top paid running backs, if not players, in the league. So you cannot risk that for injury to show up late because your teammate said, oh, it's the right thing to do. You can move on.
Let me ask you this, though.
Go ahead.
None related. Do you think they're going to extend them early? Because I don't.
They are notoriously known for not giving guys that money.
I mean, they did it for AB, though. They did it for AB.
I hope they do. Because, they are a different football team. I hope they do. They're a different football team with Leveon Bell. With no Leveon Bell, this Steelers team is drastically different. They throwing the ball 40, 50 times. It's a great security blanket when you can go back there and give it to a running back like Leveon Bell 30 times a game and dump it out the backfield to him 10 times, potentially give him 40 touches a game. So I think the right thing to do is to extend that man. Pay that man. He deserved it. He earned it.
I hear you. Bro, let's go ahead and move to this next topic. This one right here is going to ruffle some feathers.
Yep.
And, you know, we don't shy away from that. We don't run from that on this show, man. No BS, no sugarcoating, no biases. In case you guys don't know, man, the NFL kind of came back and caught folks off guard. We knew they was probably... Yeah, I know. We knew they was working on the kickoff rule, and they also got a few other things they was working on. We was expecting that. Nobody really was expecting any revisit to the national anthem situation. For the most part, it had kind of died down, LaParis. Most folks weren't talking about it, and I kind of felt like the Shield did, even though I disagree with it, the Shield did a good job of getting their message across. The two guys that you think about when you think about taking a knee during the national anthem is Colin Kaepernick and Eric Reed, and both of those guys are without a job. And I felt like that alone sent a pretty strong message to the rest of the guys in the league, and you really wasn't seeing many people take knees or whatnot. We felt like it was over. The league, they're not really good with timing. They come out and say, okay, we kind of had a meeting. It didn't have any players. No player had anything to do with it, which it was some loophole that made this okay. And I should have looked it up, LaParis. I don't have the exact wording or verbiage, but something, because instead of them changing a rule, whatever loophole they came up with, they didn't have to converse with any other players. And they came up with a new rule for the national anthem. This new rule states that if you are on the field, you cannot take a knee. It's very loose, though. It's some gray area, because they say you have to respect the national anthem in the proper way or something like that, whatever the hell that means. And if you don't want to, you don't have to come out the locker room until after the anthem. All right? Roger Goodell said he felt like this was a good... what's the word? I'm having a brain fart. It was a good compromise. He said he felt like it was a good compromise for the players as well as the owners of the league or whatever. Now, for some odd reason, LaParis, before I turn this over to you, the league truly is under the belief that the national anthem issue has made them lose viewership. The viewership numbers were down. However, they still was king. The NFL gets more views than any other league. It is the most watched professional league on the planet, but their numbers are down, and they're still number one, but they think their numbers are down because of the national anthem. Now, LaParis, I follow you on social media in case you didn't know, and I've seen some of your tweets. I think I know how you feel, but in case some of our listeners don't, how do you feel about the changes to the national anthem rule?
I want to say this, man. Spade, me and you have a lot of conversations about just real life stuff all the time, off camera.
Yep.
And I had said to you a while ago, I asked you a question. I asked you a question. I said, can you really be mad at people that just don't get it? It's like trying to teach a toddler, algebra or something. Like, you can't get mad at them for not knowing. They don't get it. And I mean, me and you had an extensive conversation about that at this time. I'm just gonna leave that there. You don't gotta explain. You don't gotta say what you said or anything like that. But I'm asking the viewers, like, do you think you can? I don't think you can be mad at people for not understanding something that they will never get. And I think that's where the NFL is right now. They don't get it. They don't understand it. So they wanna paint this picture like this protest is about this one certain thing. And as far, and it's not, and it's totally not. And no matter how many times African American, not just African American, no matter how many times people tell the NFL the protest is not about ABC,
not an anthem protest, it's not a flag protest.
No matter how many they got their blinders on, and they only see the protest as being about one thing, which is totally not.
Yep.
And as far as the players can come out. And if they come out, they can't disrespect the flag. The NFL disrespect the flag every single chance they get, because you're not supposed to have the flag. You know how they have the flag like horizontal,
bringing them all out on the field, doing dances with it.
That's disrespectful to the flag.
That's disrespectful.
You're not supposed to drape the flag or like use it as clothing. That's disrespectful to the. That's disrespectful to the flag.
LaParis, you can go on the NFL. You can go on the NFL.com website and buy jerseys.
Yeah.
It's got American flag design numbers on it. You can buy that on their website. That's disrespecting the flag. That actually is.
And you can look it up. Like this is factual stuff that we tell you. You can look it up.
Yeah.
Like the NFL, they trying to, and I know what they're trying to do. The NBA has a rule that you must stand for the national anthem. But unlike the NBA, the players in ownership and the commissioner, they have way better rapport. People actually like Adam Silver. The players like that guy. They like that guy. People hate Roger Goodell. Like, Jerry Jones hate Roger Goodell. He was about to sue Roger Goodell in the NFL. Jerry Jones, owner in the league.
Jerry used to like him. But anyway, that's neither here nor there.
My point is, man, they don't get this. They don't understand. And the crazy thing is, if you are seen to be, I guess, I'm doing quote fingers over here, Spade, disrespecting the flag, your team can be fined. Your team, man, Spade, I would still take a knee. And I wrote this on Twitter. The league is about 80% African American. They can't fire everybody, man. They're not going to fire 80% of the players. If they can just all get on one accord and be like, yo, this is what we're going to do, and do it and stick to it, which I know would never happen for whatever reason. It would never happen. But if they were to all get on one accord and say, we're going to do this, and we do it, damn them fines. And the crazy thing is, it teams like the Jets ownership, and it was another, San Francisco, I think. San Francisco ownership came out and said, you know.
They didn't even take place in the vote.
They said that we'll pay the fines for our players. If our players want to make a peaceful protest, we'll pay the fines. And kudos to them for making that statement. But it's just nonsense. It's disrespectful. And like, Spade, I want to say like it's like tiresome. Like, I'm so tired.
It is.
Because I'm so tired.
That's the perfect word.
I'm tired, man. Like, they try to make it about one thing, and Spade, I want to say this, and then I'll let you go. I read a quote off one of these sports websites that said, a source said that the NFL owners are effing scared of Donald Trump, and that's not my word. I didn't say the F. I didn't put the effing in there. Like, that's what the person said. The source said that the NFL is effing scared of Donald Trump, and like. He said what he said, and that had the NFL shook. And now they're coming out with all these different rules, and it's crazy because the league is literally like 80, damn near 80% African American. How do you not back your workforce? It's terrible. It's terrible.
Right.
It's terrible.
Yeah, I really feel like you knocked it out the park when you use the word tired. It's a tiresome process. And I think my approach is going to catch people off guard. So let me just go ahead. Let me get running with it. Do I like the change to it? I really don't. Do they get it? They really don't. Do the league give a shit about police brutality? Absolutely not. They got this program where they like, we talking with the players and we giving money to these, various campaigns and whatnot. Look, the league don't give two shits, okay? Right. Listen, it was just a Milwaukee Bucks player that was just blatantly mistreated by the police on camera.
Word.
And listen, before I say this, there are some very good cops. I don't feel like I should have to say this, but I gotta say it because somebody gonna come back and say, oh, not all cops are bad. Listen, there are some very good cops, but there are some very bad cops as well. And those very bad cops seem to rear their ugly heads with people of color and minorities. We see it literally weekly. Every week it's a different story in the news. People are sick of it. We are sick of it. We're tired of being pulled over, being afraid for our lives. We're sick of it. And the league don't give a shit. At the end of the day, though, taking a knee ain't going to make that league give a shit.
Right.
They proved it. They took a knee for the whole year, and people are still refusing to see what it's about. They still saying that, you're protesting the military. You're protesting the soldiers. You're protesting the flag. You're protesting the anthem. No, we're not. It's been said over and over. So I'm at the point where, look, and I hate to say this, LaParis, but I don't think the protest did shit. It didn't do anything. It didn't do anything. The people that didn't care about police brutality and racial inequality and racial injustices before the protest, they still don't give a shit today. So who cares? I don't care. And somebody said they don't feel like it was a compromise. I disagree. I feel like it is a compromise because I just wouldn't come out the locker room. I just wouldn't come out. I would come out when it's about to be the coin toss. I wouldn't even come out. Even look, and what they did was they kind of poked the hornet's nest. Most players that let it go, but they're so dumb, LaParis. They don't get that this is a challenge to the players. Now you're challenging the players. The guys who were coming out, you making them look like punks if they do come out. Like you basically challenging somebody. And I don't like it. But at the end of the day, I want to say this. Everybody with a job got something they are told to do that they don't like. LeParis brought up the fact that the NBA don't really have this issue, and they are mandated to come out during the national anthem to stand up, and I think they got to stand along the baseline, if I'm not mistaken, or something like the hash. I don't know, but it's because I'm older and I've been around and I've seen things. I remember Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf, who was the first Colin Kaepernick. That man would come out and stand for the anthem and face the opposite way. And he was one of the best shooters in the league. His career ended prematurely, and no one in the NBA would give him another shot. He never got another shot in the league. Do your homework, as LeParis say, do your Googles. That man is not out of the league because he couldn't play ball. They didn't want him in the league because he refused to face the right way during the national anthem. So I've seen this before. And the guys that's coming into the NBA now, the only reason why they don't really have a problem with it is because it's already a set rule. Anytime rules are changed, it never goes good. Look, I know I'm getting long-winded, LeParis. I'm going to try to get right. But if a street that you drive down every day, say 55 miles an hour is the speed limit, if you get caught going 70 and you get a ticket, you're going to be cool with it. You're going to be like, I was tripping. I get it. Because that's what it's always been. If that street was 70 and then they just changed it to 55 and you got a ticket for doing 70, you're going to be pissed. And that's what the NFL has done. Like, to be honest with you, it would have been better if they just made this rule as soon as Colin Kaepernick started taking that knee. It still would have been pushed back, but now we would be past it and we could be moving forward. So honestly, man, I don't even care about the rule change. It don't really bother me. Those guys, look, I saw somebody make a video and said every black player should come out and take a knee anyway. I can't put that type of pressure on those guys. At the end of the day, they got to respond. And I'm not saying they'll sell out if they come out and they stand up. They got a responsibility to feed their families and take care of themselves. I know some homies who get up and go punch the clock and put up with bullshit 8 hours a day for $15, $16 an hour. And who am I to tell them not to put up with that to feed their family? And I'm not going to tell these NFL players not to do that to feed their families. Do what you got to do. But me personally, I wouldn't even come out. I'll just sit in the locker room. Now, what should be asked is the players who decide to stay in the locker room, if you elect to stay in the locker room during the national anthem, is it still going to be viewed negatively? Are those players going to be looked at differently when it's time for them to talk contract negotiations and extensions? Is the media still going to be doing that same annoying thing they did when players took a knee? Where you're watching an NFL game and the camera's panning the field to see who took a knee, the sideline reporter, instead of telling you what players are not going to play because they're injured, they're saying, well, this player took a knee and that player took a knee. If you look right here, you can see this player took a knee. Is it still going to be that? Like, even though the policy says if you want to, you can stay in the locker room until after the national anthem, are those players going to be reported out? Sideline report is going to be like, what, 3 players for this team decided to stay in the locker room. Is it still going to have that negative connotation over those players' heads? If so, you might as well take that part out of the rule too. That's the question right there. The players that elect to stay in the locker room, will they be viewed negatively? Every damn game, bro, I would sit in the locker room, and the NFL don't get it. This is more proof that they don't get it.
Nope.
And I wish Donald Trump
care to get it. They ain't trying to get it.
Listen, man. I wish Donald Trump would. I wish he would put this type of energy and focus in things that could make this country better. If 100% of the NFL come out and stand for the anthem, that ain't gonna make this country one damn % better. The issues in this country ain't going nowhere, whether them folks is standing or kneeling. So won't you put that energy in some shit that'll make this country better? That's what I want our president to do. Stop worrying about the NFL and get some of this other shit right. Work on that. That's what I want him to do.
Great point, bro.
That's what I want him to do.
I just want to say one thing. I mean, we mentioned it before a long time ago, Spade. But another thing that I just hate about the NFL, it's a reactionary league.
Yes.
Like, they wait until the outrage or the outpour. Like the Ray Rice thing, we talked about it way back when the Ray Rice video first came out.
Yep.
They are so reactionary. They wait for the outcry. So right, bro. Oh my gosh, this is just outrageous, and then they be like, "Oh, we got to do something." Instead of just being, that's another thing that the NBA is good at. They get ahead of shit. They get ahead of it. When the Trayvon Martin thing happened, the Miami Heat dudes came out there with hoodies. The league ain't say, "Oh, what the hell is this about?" The league ain't do that. NBA ain't do that. When that shit with Donald Sterling happened in the NBA, they was like, "Yo, we with the players." We are with the players and got old boy the hell up out of there. Now, we also mentioned on the show there, Donald Sterling lost his team, but he still won because he got like $2 billion. So he still won. But I mean, the NBA, they don't be like, oh shit, like they don't wait for shit to happen. They are not a reactionary league, and that's my problem with the NFL. They wait.
And they
Ray Rice got banged for domestic violence. Oh, we gonna no, he's still with the team. Oh, video come out, crazy outrage. Oh, we gotta suspend him. We gotta get him the hell out of here, and he ain't been back since. So this ain't, this thing with Colin Kaepernick. I mean, you look at Eric Reed. Anybody tell me Eric Reed ain't a hell of a safety? They lying to me, man. There's no reason why this
like
dude shouldn't have a job.
25 years old.
Come on, man. And it was also a rumor and report that Eric Reed brother, who got drafted, he did end up getting drafted, but they said that he dropped far in the draft because he's related to Eric Reed.
Because he was Eric Reed's brother, bro.
This kid ain't even in the league, ain't never did nothing to nobody, and they punished this kid because of something his brother did. Come on, man. They are a reactionary league, and they all stick together, and it's annoying. I'm tired. I told you this numerous times. I mean, it's been numerous times. We was like, yo, you want to talk about this? And I'd be like, bro, I'm tired of talking about it.
Yeah, man.
I'm tired of talking about this anthem protest. And I know it may have people that watch our show be like, man, you can't never get tired of fighting for what's right. But it's just so tiresome because it's not like this.
It's like talking to a wall.
I agree with you 100%, Spade. Whether they take a knee or stand up, it ain't going to change the world. It's not changing the world.
It ain't even changing the league, bro. Listen, I haven't heard one owner come out and say, this happened in our community, and this makes us feel a certain kind of way. And I ain't talking about like Hurricane Harvey I ain't talking a natural disaster. I'm talking when somebody is clearly a victim of racial inequality or police brutality. I haven't seen one NFL team come out and speak up for the victims. Look, man, our president don't speak up for him.
Because
man.
Kudos to the Milwaukee Bucks because I don't even know if they public relations. I don't know if the owner wrote it. I don't know whoever wrote that damn statement. But they was like, yo, this right here needs to be looked at. This is uncalled for, and we stand with our player. Kudos to them. Yeah, man. And Spade, I said to you,
the league trash as shit, bro.
And
that's your league.
When the video dropped, homie, I said to you, it's crazy. I said to you, it's crazy that hold on, let me get my thoughts together. When that video dropped, I said, yo, it's crazy that they would do that to it. And the dude recognized them in that Milwaukee Bucks video. He knew exactly who he was. So imagine and that dude, I mean, whether you think this kid is a good player or not, that's beyond the point. He's an NBA player. So he has money and everything. So it don't matter whether you got bread or not. What do you think they doing to a regular average Joe if they do that to a Milwaukee Bucks known player? Come on. I mean,
it's your league. My league got it figured out. It's your league.
Tell you what, bro. It makes me feel like part of me be like, man, I shouldn't even be supporting this shit. But Spade, football, I'm not even like an NFL fan. Like I'm a football fan, bro. You know what I mean? College football, high school football, NFL. I told you before. I be watching some of them Canadian games. I watch them. I'm a football fan, and it's disgusting, man. It's disgusting.
It is, bro.
It's disgusting.
It make you wish. It makes me wish that the league would get competition. I know the XFL was rumored. I wish the league would get competition. I wish these players had options. And look, man, like I said, at the end of the day, I'm not finna front like these players aren't, fairly compensated. They are fairly compensated. But at the end of the day, they still people, man. They not cattle. They not property. You know what I'm saying? And anyway, let's move forward, man, because we talking to, at the end of the day, that whole segment we just had, the people who got it before the segment get it still, and the people that didn't get it before that segment still don't get it. So it's just that it don't even make sense to speak on it. So let's move forward.
Well, Spade, if you didn't know,
trash ass league.
League trash, man. It makes me, it upsets me, man. But let's move. Let's lighten the mood. We're gonna take it down to Dallas. Something that I did not want to talk about. Terrance Williams, Mr. I can't get out of bounds against the Giants a couple years ago. this guy had an issue with his car, Spade. I don't know if he was driving a Lamborghini, if his Lamborghini, he got one of those self-driving Lamborghinis. He actually ended up throwing his friend under the bus. He was on a pedal bike. Cops pulled him over. He had bloodshot red, speech was slurred. They think he was under the influence, Spade. Terrance Williams actually came out and said it wasn't him driving the car. It was Kendall Wright. Was it Kendall Wright?
Yeah.
Kendall Wright.
That's who it was.
From the Minnesota Vikings came out and threw his own mans under the bus. I don't know if I believe Terrance Williams or not. I don't believe Zero. I don't believe him. But came out and threw his own mans under. It be your own mans. It be your own boys, man. Threw his own homeboy under the bus, man. Said he called his neighbor. Neighbor picked him up. Had his keys in his pocket. It's just a cluster, you know what, of BS Terrance Williams is going through right now. Spade. I mean, typical NFL fashion. They're gonna probably suspend Terrance Williams if it ain't nothing but for a couple of games. They're gonna probably get rid of this guy as a black eye on the league.
The story gets funny, bro, because your Cowboys said they don't really see a reason to suspend him.
Oh my god.
That's what they said. Listen, man.
You know I ain't been a Terrance Williams fan since he ain't step out of bounds. Like, get out of bounds, Terrance.
Bro, this is one of the funniest stories. Just follow this timeline, right? I said at 4:41, police found this wrecked Lamborghini. They did some search. I mean, it's a whole damn license plate on the back. They did some search information, and they found out it was registered to Dallas Cowboy wide receiver Terrance Williams. They said, okay, cool. We know where he live. We got all this information. We'll go to his house in this gated community and find out what's going on. All right? Yeah. At this point, all they know is they see a Lamborghini wrapped around a pole. You know what I'm saying? He done hit a light pole. That's all they know. Ain't nobody in it. They go to the gated community. They talk to the guard at the gate. He said, oh, Terrance got here like 10, 15 minutes ago. He was in the passenger side of a car. First of all, this damn security guard singing like a hummingbird. But Jesus, hey, that's neither here nor there. Said Terrance was in the passenger side of a car. Just got here like 10, 15 minutes ago. They said, oh, all right. I don't know if they couldn't get an answer when they tried to get the buzz at his house. They go back to the scene to process things. No. On their way back to the scene to process the car, they passed Terrance on a bike. He on a pedal bike. I guess he going to the scene too. All right. They said they observed this man swerving and weaving on the bike. He stops abruptly, flips over the handlebars of the bike, and falls in the road.
Come on, man.
They go to this man. He got bloodshot eyes. His speech is slurred. He reeks of alcohol. They said, Terrance, what's going on? Did you wreck your car? He said, nah, man. My friend's an effing idiot. They said, who your friend? He said, Kendall Wright. Man called me, said he was on the way to the club in my car. He just told me my car was effed up. They said, where Kendall? Where is he? He said, nah, he ain't there. He's still at the club. He rolled in a yellow Camaro. Bro, what the hell? What was he drinking? I just want to know what he drinking so I can stay away from it.
I don't know if that's alcohol,
I just want to stay away from it. Now, in his report that was released, he said the driver in front of him slammed on brakes. He weaved out the way to dodge the driver, and the light pole was like, hey, you might have missed him, but you ain't missing me, dog. He hit the light pole. That's the statement he released. But TMZ be in your business, bro. TMZ got the actual, conversation from the police write-up where he threw my man Kendall Wright. Listen, Kendall Wright, agent done came back it ain't no truth in that story whatsoever. Kendall, get you some better friends, bro. Get you some better friends. LaParis, I don't know what to say about your boy, man.
That ain't my boy, man. And you know what?
That's your boy.
I'm so, not only am I upset with the league, but I'm upset with these Cowboys. These dudes cannot get out of their own way. What is wrong? Come on, man. Come on, I've been wanting Terrance. When they re-signed Terrance Williams, I was like, we shouldn't have paid Terrance Williams. I don't want Terrance Williams on my team. I'm sorry. I don't know. Listen, I don't think it was alcohol, bro. I think it was like that new K2. I think it was that K2, that new synthetic weed or something like you.
What is K2?
Alcohol don't do that, bro. When I was on the ship, when I was in Bermuda, I was drinking every damn day, bro.
Don't self-incriminate.
I'm just saying.
The show is listening.
I'm just saying, I was having a drink every day, bro, and I wasn't like that, bro. I'm tired. I'm tired of these Cowboys. I'm tired of this league.
You can't afford this mess Terrance be drinking, bro. You drinking regular alcohol. He drinking that super stuff.
Yeah, it must be some new. It gotta be some new. But I mean, come on. I don't believe he wasn't driving that car. He was driving that car, man. And
I just want to tell you this.
If anybody ever seen Belly, if you seen Belly, the movie with Nas and DMX. You remember when Method Man was like, I rolled dolo from state to state. This is why you do your dirt while you're lonely.
Ike Love.
This is why you do your dirt while you're lonely, because people they singing like canaries out there, man. Terrance,
well, I mean,
how you just don't
Terrance did his dirt by himself.
it?
Let me tell you something.
Go ahead.
Listen. To be a good NFL player, you got to be able to think quick. It's a very fast-moving game. And you got to be able to think quick. Okay. Let's give Terrance some credit for thinking quick.
Nah,
bro. Pretty good.
Nah, your lot got to be better than that, man. That's not good enough,
I didn't say he thought good and quick. He just thought quick. Listen, they said the cops, they said when police asked Williams about his friend, he gave a pretty clear answer about the person's identity. His quote, Kendall Wright. We went to Baylor together. Damn. He done gave his whole name, what college he went to.
Listen,
God.
Man. You about to give him his
stay
GPA.
Over there, bro. I don't want no parts. I don't want no parts.
I don't want no friends
found
like
this pretty
that,
funny, bro.
I don't want no friends like that, man. So
let me ask you this.
Go ahead.
Do you feel like you should be suspended by the team? Because I don't think the team going to do anything, but do you think
the team's not going to do nothing? Jerry Jones, he ain't that type of guy, but I think the league get at him maybe 2 games.
Roger say, I got it. Don't even worry about it.
League about to get him for probably 2-3 games. I mean, who cares?
Oh my God,
look at
I just found
Terrance
video.
Williams' stats the past couple of years. He ain't been doing shit anyway. It ain't going to hurt us.
LePaz, I just found video of him falling off his bike, bro. It is video of the man falling off his bike. Let's move forward, bro.
Please.
Before we get off this league, we got to go through it, and we got to go back. We wanted to lighten the mood, so we told y'all the Terrance Williams story, but there were some other changes other than that National Anthem change. It was also changes to the kickoff rule, and in an attempt to make the game safer. Listen, man, I'm all for making the game safer. I am worried, however, about changing kickoffs. You know, I can remember the Dante Hall era. The greatest kick returner I ever saw, Devin Hester.
Right.
And I worry about you taking that out. You know what I'm saying? What they want to do is I don't even remember a lot of big injuries on kick returns. I don't. Maybe I'm just so oblivious to it.
It's been some guys, a lot of the guys that's been struggling with CTE. Like, you think of the guy from the Saints, I think his name is Gleason. I don't remember his first name.
Yeah. I know you're talking about.
And then it was another guy from the Ravens. He actually ended up working for the Ravens. He was like a special team player. All he used to do was like wedge bust. We know Gleason was from just really like a special teams type of guy. So it seemed like the special teams, a lot of those guys really ended up with CTE bad. But continue.
Okay. Well, I mean, like I said, man, I get it. It's in an attempt to make the game safer. If you're a fan of the game, man, you're a fan of these players, and you don't want to see these players messed up later on in life. So I'm all for it. But some of the changes include, like the kickoff team, those players have to line up 1 yard off the ball, so they can't get that running start, which I got to admit, I don't really feel like this is a big change because we're talking about big, fast, athletic, physical specimens. So that 1 yard... These guys, some of these big dudes run the 40 in 4.5 seconds. So
go ahead.
Giving them what they ain't got a running start, that ain't gonna stop them from knocking the hell out of somebody on the other end of that play. But hey, they making efforts. Now on the receiving team side, you can no longer do that wedge block, LeParis, where like me and you would grab hands and do that Red Rover thing. You can't do that no more. Everybody got to be in a 1v1 blocking situation. And I think, honestly, what they want is they want more fair catches and they want less kick returns because they want to make the game safer. Now, they also made changes to what they're calling the helmet rule, which is where the defensive player lowers his helmet to make a tackle. This one right here is going to get tricky, LeParis. You heard it here first. There are already people saying this is going to be the next catch rule. The way the catch rule was so finicky and open to interpretation. Is this a catch? Is this not a catch? This is what people think is going to happen with this helmet rule because, let's face it, like I said, we're talking about physical specimen. The game is fast moving, and a lot of times the offensive player makes an attempt to get lower than the defensive player. So what happens is you got two guys going head up because they both trying to get lower than the other. This is going to be something to keep an eye on. I don't expect it to be perfect. I don't expect it to be good, but it is in an attempt to make the game safer. So I'm cool with both changes. I talked a whole lot right there with LeParis. How you feel about both changes? Are you okay with them? You disagree?
I agree with you. I agree with you with the kickoff rule. I don't think starting that 1 yard and not having that run start. I don't think that matters. Like you said, these guys are running 40 yards, flying down the field in less than 5 seconds. These guys are some of the best athletes in the world. Having that, if anything, they slowing up because you using more. You are using more energy starting back 5 more yards, getting that 5-yard start. So if anything, using more energy that way. When you start, at the line of scrimmage, you taking off. You going to reach top speed. I mean, you're going to be down there faster. So you, in my opinion, getting a 5-yard start, you using more energy that way. In my opinion, I like that. I like that they're no longer doing the wedge. It was, I played football for a long time, man, and it used to be guys on special teams that was called wedge buster. Their job wasn't to go down there and make no tackle. Their job wasn't to go down there and pin the runner in or anything. Their job was to do one thing, and that was to go bust up the wedge, go run through the wedge, and that was their only job. So I understand that. The helmet rule is where I got a problem, Spade.
It's gonna be tricky.
Because, and I agree 100%. This is about to be one of those tricky rules. This is reviewable. You can ask for a replay for this, and players can be ejected from the game. But the crazy thing is, they saying this is not a targeting rule. It sounded a lot like the targeting rule to me. This is what college football has. College football has a targeting rule. If they think you did a malicious hit, you can get thrown out the game. And we have seen this numerous times on Saturdays. Sounds like the targeting rule to me, but they said it's not. Spade. And I don't know if the coach can throw the flag for this, or is this strictly a referee thing? Like, do the ref be like, okay, I think that was an illegal hit. Let's go look at the videotape. Is it that type of situation? I don't know, but it's one of these. It's one of the rules where it's going to be based off the referee's judgment. I don't know if he's going to be able to converse with somebody like in league offices, like in New York, or is he going to be able to talk amongst the other referees? It's going to be a tricky situation. And Spade, I think we're going to see something. We're going to be seeing some of these safeties. If I had a kid, I would not want him to play defense. They are doing everything in their power, and they said it's to protect defensive and offensive players. I wouldn't want my kid to play defense. Defense got it rough out there, man. You can't jam at the line of scrimmage no more. You can't bump and run coverage like that no more. I mean, you can't really pity pat with your hand, patty cake with your hands anymore. I mean, it's a total disadvantage. And like you said, football is a game of lowest man wins. So when if a receiver do see you coming, his instinct, and not that he's trying to get a penalty or something, his instinct from just doing it so many times, his muscle memory is going to automatically just make him get low, and that automatically lowers the strike zone. I don't know. This is a scary rule, man. It's a scary rule. It is. I see a lot of our favorite players, linebackers, defensive players, safeties. I see a lot of these guys being ejected this year, man.
I want to pick at you. You say you won't want your son playing defense. Man, if you don't get your son off the football field, he's going to go to that league.
You know I don't want to play football at all, but I'm just saying, if he wanted to play, I wouldn't stop him. I wanted
my son to play football, but the way it's going now, man, I don't want.
No way.
But anyway, I do want to say this though. Last year, man, we saw a very rare and scary situation with Ryan Shazier, and I expected some changes to come.
Yep.
I don't think they're doing it right. But like I said, I won't hate on the effort to try to make the game safer. They might get it wrong a few times in an attempt to try to get it, right. I don't think they got it right.
But
I know why they're doing it, and I'm for it.
I mean, we've seen Devontae Adams from Green Bay just take a terrible hit as well. I mean, you can name numerous people, man. So I understand why they're doing it. I just don't know. The only way they can make this game safe is to get rid of the helmets. You can never make this game 100% safe, man. Never.
I agree.
Never. Ready to move on?
Yes.
Let's take it to the NBA, man. Let's take it to the NBA.
Yeah.
Taking it to the NBA, Spade. And before we start talking about the games, it's a lot of games. It's 2 games going on. Before we talk about the games, I want to talk about the All-NBA team. So if you guys didn't know, NBA released its first, second, and third All-NBA teams. Spade, I got the list right here. I'm going to read them off. First team, All-NBA. Of course, none other than LeBron James. He actually... this is his 12th time making it. James Harden made first team. Anthony Davis made first team. Dame Lillard made first team. Spade, can't wait to get your thoughts there. Kevin Durant made first team. Second team was Greek Freak, Russell Westbrook, Joel Embiid, LaMarcus Aldridge. Spade, I gotta give you credit, bro. You said LaMarcus Aldridge was gonna have an amazing year, and LaMarcus Aldridge put the Spurs on his back. Now I know they didn't advance far in the playoffs, but LaMarcus Aldridge was definitely one of the reasons that they made the playoffs. So kudos to you for calling out LaMarcus Aldridge and Blake Griffin.
Thank you, sir.
F Blake Griffin, because I had Blake Griffin instead of LaMarcus Aldridge, and Blake damn near in Detroit stinging it up, making about $200 million a year. Also, second team was DeRozan.
Wow.
Third team was Paul George, Jimmy Butler, Karl Anthony Towns, Victor Oladipo, and Steph Curry. Steph Curry missed like 30 games. But Spade, anybody, you have a problem with anybody being where they at?
Yes.
Like, should anybody be on the team that didn't make the team? Talk to your boy.
Listen, man, I just got one question. Last year, the entire world told me James Harden didn't deserve MVP because Russell Westbrook averaged a triple-double.
Okay.
But this year, the same people telling me that him averaging a triple-double again don't even make him a first-team All-NBA?
And see, that's my problem, Spade.
What?
Is the consistency. That's your league.
What? Yeah, so either James Harden got snubbed last year or Russell Westbrook got snubbed in this All-NBA mess. Now, listen, man, the Dame Lillard fans really don't like me. They give me a hard time because I give Dame a hard time.
If they don't like you, they hate me.
Bro, people tell me Dame Lillard's the best point guard in the NBA, and I like Dame, but he's not. He's just not. And I think Russ got snubbed. Listen, man, if I'm not mistaken, I think last year, damn, I wish I did the research before the show started. I think last year I was bitching because James Harden didn't make All-NBA. I'm pretty sure I bitched about that last year.
I got you.
If it wasn't last year,
I got you.
If it wasn't last year, it was the year before. This is the kind of stuff right here. And like I said, the NBA, they like to get us in these back and forths and these debates where we going. They like to do this. But I actually don't like this because it makes it seem as though they just pull this out their ass. Like, what's the basis? What are we building this on? Does it go on stats? Does it go on likability? All of a sudden, the narrative with Russell Westbrook changed. Last year, when I told the entire world, LaParis, I told the entire world.
It was the year before last. He made
year before last.
He made All NBA last year.
Okay, so that was year before last.
Okay, go ahead.
Last year, I told the entire world, I said, Russell Westbrook is a hell of a player, but his triple-doubles are their team. It's like a team project. Like, the whole team buys in on it.
You was kind of, I hate giving Spade credit because you can't give this guy credit because he.
I'm gonna be humble. I'm gonna be humble today. Now I can't promise you that next show, but this show I'm gonna be humble. I told the whole world that everybody felt like I was hating.
You was ahead of the triple-double crap before everybody else. Because I was slurping the Kool-Aid last year. Like, this is amazing. Like, we never seen a guy. Only Oscar Robertson. Like, we're never going to see a guy average a triple-double. Now everybody's getting triple-doubles. Like,
left and right.
You was ahead of the.
Markelle Fultz even got one, bro. He ain't even good enough to play. They didn't even let him play in the postseason. He got a triple-double.
You definitely was ahead of the curve when it was coming to triple-double not being as triple-doubly as they used to be. You was ahead of that. Go ahead.
Well, bro, the narrative changed this year. Now all the people that loved Russ last year hate Russ this year.
Not me, though. Not me. I still love Westbrook.
Not you, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
We don't like Russ. He chased stats. And I'm like, Russ this is who Russ has been. Right. Like, I don't feel like this year Russ said, I don't want this thing to work with Paul George and Carmelo Anthony. He never said that. I even told you at the start of the year, I saw Russ deferring. And I said, I don't know how this is going to go. Because if he defer and these guys don't make shots, Russ is going to say F it. And he's going to take over the game because that's who Russ is. And you got to love him through his flaws. It's crazy, man. Last year I felt like James Harden was deserving. Let me finish this point, then I give it to you.
Go ahead.
Last year I felt like James Harden was deserving of the MVP, but not in a discredit to Russell Westbrook. Mm-hmm. And even though I didn't feel like he was the MVP last year, I was okay with him winning it, and I'm not okay with the way everybody has turned on Russell Westbrook. And for him to not be a first-team All-NBA member, it's just crazy to me. It makes no sense whatsoever.
So is your problem more with Westbrook not being there or Dame being there? What if it wasn't Dame? What if it wasn't Dame, but it was somebody else? Let me just look at the list again. Let's say Westbrook is there. And DeRozan is second team. Let's say Lillard not there, and they put DeRozan there. You still got a problem?
Yeah, it should
Instead of it being Lillard.
But I mean, now for what it's worth, it's gonna be a point guard. They're gonna put a point guard there, and which a lot of people don't like that. They want it to kind of go like the All-Star format, where you just going with like the 5 best players or whatever. I heard an argument brought up that Joakim Noah was All NBA one year when he didn't deserve it. It's just that it wasn't a better center in the East to give it to. Like it was process of elimination. But you ain't putting a point guard, not in the East, I'm sorry. But listen, you're not putting a point guard over Russell Westbrook this year for the way he performed and what he did in that team, for that team, when Paul George couldn't get right for most of the year and Carmelo Anthony still can't get right. Here today, he still can't get right. Okay. I got a problem with it, bro. I got a problem with that. Dame fans, come holler at me.
You already know I'm hard on Lillard anyway, but I feel like this. I feel like the league, not just, I don't know who even vote for All NBA. I don't know if it's the league. I don't know if it's coaches. I don't know if it's like
reporters and stuff like that.
Reporters. I don't know.
Players.
Spade. I got a problem because Lillard is there. People love Lillard. And people, you know what? People was tweeting you about Lillard. People was tweeting me and saying, this proves Dame is the best point guard in the league. No, it don't. No,
right.
It does not. It does not. And I gotta, you know, I love Russell Westbrook. I mean, Stacks was on here throwing hella shade at Westbrook, saying, you know, look how he shot in that last game. And I said, if Russ don't play like that in that last game, they get the doors blown off. One thing I like about Westbrook that I don't know if Damian Lillard have this. You think they're gonna come at you? They about to get me. One thing I like about Westbrook that I don't think Damian Lillard has, when Westbrook saw Paul George was off that last game, and he saw Melo was a shell of himself, not even in the game, and he said, I got Corey Brewer. Westbrook said, we might lose this series, but it's not going to be me. It's not going to be because of me. And I don't know, Dame Lillard, Spade, I mean, you talk about Lillard a lot, bro. And I said one thing about Damian Lillard, and you want to, Spade, you want to say shoot. But one thing about Damian Lillard, when that jumper falling, he amazing. All world.
Cold dude.
But when that jumper off, Damian Lillard just keep jacking. He just keep jacking. And that's why they got their ass swept. That's why they got swept. By
a Boogie Pels team.
When that Pelicans team was swarming him, Lillard was still jacking and shooting over double teams and everything instead of point guarding it up. And I ain't necessarily saying he got to go get a triple double. That ain't what I'm saying. But if two guys, process of elimination, Spade. If two guys on me, somebody open. And I just feel like I said, you was ahead of the triple double before everybody else got on this. Triple doubles don't mean nothing, Wave. But I still think Westbrook still had an amazing season. I still think he should have been first team All NBA, man. I just think they love Damian Lillard and they hate Westbrook, man. They hate Westbrook.
This year. Last year they loved him. This year, not so much.
At least this year. And why did Steph Curry make it? Didn't Steph Curry miss like 30 games? I mean, so it's you couldn't find no other point guard?
I will tell you this, and I'm not saying this means he deserved to be there. I think one of the things we learned in the regular season this year was you could take Kevin Durant off of that Golden State team, and that Golden State team was still official. You could take Steph off that team, and that team did not look the same. So this ain't an MVP award, but I think Steph proved his value. Golden State proved Steph's value this year. And I think, like I said, down the stretch, I think Golden State was kind of, I feel like they was in cruise control because they wasn't going to jump Houston for the number 1 seed. And at the end of the day, they already got the record for most wins in a regular season. I don't know if that motivation was there, but for the people who going to defend Steph being on this list at all, that's what they're going to say. Man, we learned a lot. When Steph was out, Golden State was catching L's left and right. That's what people going to say. So I don't necessarily have a big problem with Steph being there, but I got a big problem with Russ not being first team. Big problem.
I mean, you know I'm a Westbrook fan, man. I still ride. I will. Westbrook can play on my team any day, man. Any day of the week. I know I'm about to get maximum effort from this dude. Now it ain't always when it's ugly. It's ugly. It's ugly.
Oh yeah.
It's ugh.
I mean, Dame fans gonna get you because that's what they're gonna say about Dame. When it's ugly, it's ugly, and when it's good, it's good.
Yeah, but I mean, even
But
when
I will say this: when Dame is good and when Russ is good is better than Dame's good. That's what I'm gonna say.
And I'm gonna keep it 100. When Russ bad is better because you know he bringing it defensively. You know what I mean? He gonna be tenacious with grabbing rebounds. Now I know Spade. You could say his teammates give him some rebounds, but Russ be attacking that glass, bruh.
He be standing right up under the basket. Damn right.
So I mean, if we comparing bad to bad, give me Russ bad. Give me Russ bad. I mean, it ain't that. Listen, I'm not a Dame fan. I don't dislike him. Like I said, when he on, it's all world. You be like, oh, this dude nice, but it's on, it's flame on, or it's like, oh my gosh. I mean,
it's ice cubes.
Think about. Let me ask you this, babe, and then we can move on. How many of them 18, 19 point games you see from Lillard? I mean, you know, like you can remember. Like you'll get an 18, 19 point game from Russ, and they'd be like, oh, Russ had 4 steals, he had like 9 assists, he had like 11 rebounds. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you look at Dame and be like, damn, Dame shot 6 of 22 and had 18 points. And you look at CJ McCollum over there, and CJ McCollum was like,
if I could just
8 of 11, 8 of 11 or something. And you'd be like, damn, why didn't CJ get the ball more? Why did Dame shoot 22 times? But
they definitely finna get on your head. I'm gonna go ahead and move forward for you.
I don't care.
They finna get you.
I don't care.
Bro, check this out, man. We got a great series on hand. Look, you was actually illegally on vacation when Stacks was on the show, and me and Stacks did our predictions for this round. And listen, I told him on both of these sides, I was a little concerned. Listen, I actually called it. I said I saw a 7-game series for the Boston and Cleveland series. I had Cleveland winning that series, and here we are. We're right here where we are about to go to a Game 7. Wow. LeBron James proved to us what we already knew. Elimination facing LeBron James is a scary man to face. Listen, when LeBron's back is against the wall, ever since that year against the Mavs, because the Bron haters gonna come drop that in the chat. Wow. Ever since that year, Bron is facing elimination. That's not to say he gonna get the win, but he gonna come out like a man possessed, and we saw it again. The man is 33 years old. I think it's his 15th year in the league, and he is still just a man amongst boys. Listen, man, Game 7 is upon us. Who do you have winning this, bro? Come on, we need to know.
I'm not going against LeBron, man. I'm not going against LeBron. The crazy thing is Kevin Love took helmet to helmet hit, and he's out for Game 7. Kevin Love is out for Game 7. So I wrote on Twitter when Game 6, when Bron back was
grow up, bro. I almost spit water all over my expensive equipment.
Grow up. when the Cavs back was against the wall and Bron back was against the wall in Game 6, I wrote on Twitter. I said, man, Bron is about to go ape shit. We all know it. And I'm gonna tell you, I think the Cavs are gonna win Game 7. But let me, if they do lose, I'm gonna tell you who it won't be because of. It won't be because of LeBron. LeBron is about to go bananas again. Like he's about to go. LeBron took a crazy. Larry Nance went up for a rebound. Like it was like players everywhere. They all was falling, and Larry Nance kind of bumped into LeBron's knee, like awkwardly, and his knee kind of bent a certain way. And I was like, oh no! Like Bron went down and was holding his knee. We know Bron is a bit of a drama king, but the way his knee looked, I'm like, oh man, that could be ugly. That could be ugly. But I knew LeBron wasn't coming out that game, and I expect all world LeBron in Game 7, especially knowing that Kevin Love is out. Now the question is he going to get what he got in Game 6 from those other guys? George Hill played well. Like Jeff Green came off the bench, played amazing. Larry Nance played well. Jordan Clarkson hit some shots. Korver was hitting some shots. So is he going to get that from the others?
Korver won a tip ball, bro.
I know, against Baines. Against Baines.
Korver won a jump ball.
I don't know if he's going to get that from the others. But I expect Bron to move on, Spade. I gotta ask you.
What? Yeah.
I gotta ask you, Kevin Love being out, I want to ask you, how does that hurt the Cavs? And 2, this thing went to 7 without Gordon Hayward, without Kyrie Irving. Do you think if the Celtics had Kyrie and Gordon Hayward, do you think they win this series? Do you think it's like a 7-game series?
It's tough to say. I'm going to be honest with you. I think this season was the gift and the curse for the Boston Celtics because they learned a lot about their young players.
That's right.
I think what made Boston so good, and I said this earlier, I don't know if it was the show you wasn't here for or what. I'm going to keep dropping that hint about you taking that illegal vacation.
But you might go on vacation in a minute too. You get one too.
Yeah, but mine in the book. You can check the book. Mine in there. Anyway, I don't just dip out. But listen, man, what makes Boston so difficult is the fact that they like a 5-6-headed monster. You don't know who to prepare for. It could be Tatum this game. It could be Brown the next game.
Right.
Hell, it could be Morris the next game. It could be Rozier. It could be
Rozier.
Horford.
They got so many guys.
I got to be honest with you, bro. I love Kyrie. I'm a Kyrie fan. But if Kyrie there, them other dudes ain't touching the rock like that, man. Come on, let's keep it a stack. Kyrie is going to dominate the ball. And I think they're easier to defend. Yeah, right. I really do. Now, I will say this. With Kevin Love off the court, it's going to change the game plan a lot. I saw something on Twitter, and I'm not saying that I agree, but it's food for thought. Somebody actually tweeted that I follow. I don't even remember who it was, but they said, why do the Cavs look like a better team without Kevin Love? When Kevin Love is in the lineup, why does it seem like it's Bron and Kevin Love dominating everything and nobody else can get going? So, look, it's a possibility with Kevin Love out. It could hurt him. I mean, it's probably going to hurt him. I mean, he's too good of a player for it not to hurt him. But I think it gives the opportunity for you to get that good game from JR, for you to get that good game from Kyle Korver, for you to get that good game from one of these others. And I'm telling you, if you got a healthy Kevin Love in the game, even when they win, it's going to be like 30 for Bron, 26, 28 for Love, and the next person going to have like 8. I don't know. It just goes that way. So this could be, I still think they need Kevin Love back. But I think you're going to see more from the others. Whether or not it'll be enough, only time will tell, man. Hey, man, I'm not going against Bron. Listen, you can take Kevin Love out. You could take Kevin Hart out. You can take Kevin's Hart out.
Yeah, it don't matter.
You can take whoever. Look, Bron finna. I'm not going against Bron unless Golden State on the other side of that court.
I want to say this. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's me. And maybe I think Larry Nance and Jordan Clarkson and those guys are better than what they are. But I just think these guys spade that players, energy. Bro. Maybe I think they better than what they are. I think we will all say that they're solid players. But Spade, these guys can play, and I've been begging all playoffs, had it or not. I've been begging. Play Tristan Thompson. Play Larry Nance. Where's Clarkson? You bust these trades for these guys, and y'all not even playing them. I actually like Larry Nance. I like Clarkson. And like I said, maybe it's me. Maybe I think they're better than what they are, but I think they can make an impact, man. Jordan Clarkson is one of those guys. Now, Rodney Hood is just out the lineup after what he did. He hasn't played a second after he did what he did when he was like, I refuse to go in the game. And he don't. But Jordan Clarkson is a Rodney Hood type of player. Maybe not defensively, but Jordan Clarkson can explode and give you one of those 27-point games. We've seen him do it numerous times with the Lakers. Like he can give you those games. Now, I'm not necessarily saying it's going to be this game coming up. I'm just saying, how do you not even put these guys in the game to see? Larry Nance can block shots, can rebound. He's athletic.
He's athletic. I was finna say
he caught like a couple of tip dunks. That's how he hurt Bron. He was going for a damn tip dunk or something, and he fell on Bron. Like he can do that, and that junk gets the crowd involved. It gets your team like rejuvenated. I just think those guys can make an impact, and I think we'll see that. We'll see that on Sunday. I think we'll see that on Sunday. Moving on, Spade. Gotta take it to the Western Conference. We're gonna talk Rockets Warriors. Crazy thing is, I ain't even gonna throw no shade, but even with how bad James Harden has been playing, the Rockets were still able to get a 3-2 lead on the Warriors, Spade. Which I'm like, it's a game tonight. The Warriors. And the Rockets, the Warriors are at home. CP3 is out, Spade. We've been talking about CP3. You've been saying before the season starts, CP3 is amazing. I had CP3 as my top 4 PG, by the way. Awesome. Yep. But you was like, CP3, man, he's amazing. but it's always that injury bug that just seemed to nag him. And CP3,
every postseason.
CP3 got a hamstring injury, hurt himself, and his hamstring probably hurt from backpacking James that previous game. Probably hurt his hamstring for that.
Grow up.
But he's ruled out for the next game that's coming up tonight. We don't know if he's going to play. If there's a game 7, we don't know if he'll be able to play game 7. But for game 6, CP3 is out. Spade, talk to me. Who you have and why?
I gotta be honest, man. The shocking thing in this series, James Harden has played bad. Let me go ahead and say that. James Harden has played bad. I think he had one game in this series that he played what I consider to be well. Otherwise, he's underperformed. And we always say postseason James Harden scares me. I'm not a big fan of postseason James Harden. I hope this year would be different. And we always say Golden State, I don't know what it is. Not necessarily in the regular season, but in the postseason, Golden State, they get in James' head. I don't know what it is. And James has been really dependent on his teammates, which you got to give him some credit for, because as a star, it's a part of you that just want to say, well, I can't say that because we've seen James look like he don't even want to be on the court before. But let me say this. Chris Paul has done above and beyond. Chris Paul has played better than I thought he was going to play. When the injury happened, I tweeted, CP3 just CP3'd. That's what happens. You know what shocks me? You talking about the Cavs won't play Clarkson and all these guys. You know who the Rockets haven't given any burn to?
Who?
ISO Joe. They got Joe Johnson on the bench. This is a savvy veteran. I'm not saying Joe gonna win the game for you. He can't get a minute.
We have seen him win games last year.
Bro, he can't get a minute. He can't get a minute. I'm gonna tell you what's crazy. Bro, I'm gonna tell you what's crazy. You wasn't. I don't think you was here for this, LaParis. This is back when you had your illegal vacation that wasn't in the book. But my X factor for this series was PJ Tucker.
Yeah, he been
and the games that they've won, it has been big shots made by I'm not saying PJ threw the team on his back and backpack. That's never what I said he needed to do.
I think one of them games he gave him 27, didn't he? 20-something.
Yeah, 20-something. I don't know what it was, but 20-something. But in the games that they've won, you've seen him knock down some shots that you go, no, PJ, don't. Oh, okay. And he's always going to give you that energy on the defensive end. As crazy as it sounds, I said my prediction for this series before it started, I said I felt like Golden State was winning. I said it was going, I think I said 6 or 7. I'm not really sure. I got to go back and see. But I said if the Rockets were to win, it was going to take an A+ game from James Harden, an A+ game from Chris Paul, and my X factor was PJ Tucker. As crazy as it sounds, with this team up 3-2, I still think they got a chance, bro. I know that sounds crazy. I think they got a chance. Gerald Green has came in spurts and gave them a boost here and there. PJ Tucker's given a boost here and there. Eric Gordon's been damn near phenomenal for a guy coming off the bench. And with Chris Paul out, you can still, look, you need James. You don't need Game 5 James. Don't bring that guy back ever again, James. We need a good James Harden. If we can get a little something from Gerald Green, I'm saying we as though this is my team. Mm-hmm. If they can get a little something from Gerald Green, a little something from Ariza, a little something from PJ, a little something from EG, and maybe some ISO Joe, ding dong, the Wicked Witch could be dead, man. Golden State could actually lose. They could actually lose. And I lost my point. What I wanted to say, as bad as James has played, the story to me is Kevin Durant. Mm-hmm. Kevin Durant has been bad this entire series, bro. He has been bad this entire series, and he looks like that guy that just, he's pushing a little too hard. You know, they had a clip of Steve Kerr telling him, you need to trust your teammates more. You know, you can still look the score, but when you're passing it so late in the shot clock, once Phil Jackson told Michael Jordan, who was open on that play? And they tried to inspire that man with an old-ass Jordan story. I don't think it worked, but that's been the storyline. If Kevin Durant gets his mind right, the Rockets are done for. If Kevin Durant continues to play like this and the Rockets can get help from others, the Rockets could do it, bro. The Rockets could do it.
Spade, I don't understand why these teams do not play these players. You
in the postseason, they shrink their rotations, and I don't get it. This is when people tired. It's the end of the year. You would think you would expand your rotations in the postseason. I guess that's why we ain't coaches.
Come on, man. Joe Johnson can come in and give you a quick 12. Come on, man. Joe throw a dude in the post and give it to him. Come on, man.
Yeah,
we have seen Joe Johnson, even at this age, this stage in his career, even as as recent as last year, even earlier this year. Joe Johnson had some good games when he was with the Jazz. Like, I don't understand why you're not giving him at least 15 minutes. 15. But anyway,
shit, he'll take 2.
Spade, let me say this. We had a show a while, maybe 2 or 3 shows ago, or was it last? Might have been last show. Draymond Green mama said something, man. And you said this can mess up the chemistry. Kevin Durant ain't been right since Draymond Green mom said that crap, man. Kevin Durant is out there looking like, remember when they had the lead on the Warriors and everybody was blaming Russ and Kevin Durant was shooting him out the game. He looked like that right Kevin Durant. He looked like that Kevin Durant. Now, with that being said, losing a guy like CP3, man,
huge.
Jesus, man. I really wish it was looking like the Warriors was going to face a team that was 100% healthy, and they was going to get the Rockets' best punch, and then CP3 get hurt, man. I don't think the Rockets can beat the Warriors without Chris Paul, bro. And maybe the Rockets, I don't know how the game is going to go tonight. Maybe the Rockets is like, you know what? Even if Chris Paul, because Chris Paul was saying he all right. Maybe if Chris Paul could have played tonight, they was like, you know what? We'll do it without you, because if it's a game 7, we're going to need you out there. We're going to need you. So maybe they just trying to get him right if there's a game 7, hoping that the Rockets could pull a rabbit out their hat and get this win tonight. But if Chris Paul don't play game 7, Spade, I don't see them winning. I don't see them winning. I hope I'm wrong, because I would love for the Rockets to beat the Warriors.
Me too,
but
me too.
No Chris Paul.
I saw a tweet.
Go ahead.
That you need to know about. I saw a tweet that said, take Chris Paul to Wakanda, take him to T'Challa's sister, and get him healed up with that vibranium. Take his ass to Wakanda right now. Because the world wants to see somebody else in the finals. This is what the world wants. Please. Take him to Wakanda.
Hey, let me ask you, if it's a game 7, I just believe in my heart, I could be wrong. If it's a game 7, they're going to have to, Chris Paul leg going to have to be off for him not to play. He playing.
You know what we might see? We might see another performance like that old Isaiah Thomas performance of him limping up and down the court, showing tremendous heart. Listen, man, it's a lot of stuff on the market, man. And listen, I don't mean this to sound as bad as it's going to sound. If I'm Chris Paul and this thing go to game 7, man, listen, inject me with whatever you need to, cortisone, hydrocodone, I don't know. Inject me with something. I'm playing.
Yeah, I believe in my heart, if it's a game 7, they want Chris Paul's leg got to be off for him not to be out there. And I still see him trying to get one of those fake legs to put on. Like, he playing. I believe he playing.
Got to.
But I'm hoping they pull it out. I'm hoping they pull it out tonight.
Same, bro. All right, man, let's go ahead and bring it home, man. Last segment of the show today, man. We have given you guys a lot, man. Some highs, some lows. That whole National Anthem topic got a little hairy. But look, we're going to finish strong, man. Last segment of the show today, we call this thing the Strong Arm Performer of the Week. And it's an award. It's a very prestigious award in podcast land. And we give it away twice a week to a male or female who raised his or her level of play to ensure that their team got the victory. Lopez, you on the hot seat. Who is your Strong Arm Performer of the Week and why?
I got to give it to a guy that I said was a top 5 player at his position.
No shocker.
Go ahead, guy I said was a top 5 player at his position. And that's none other than Chris Paul, man. If Chris Paul, let me just say this. He hasn't been shooting that great. But if you've seen that last game, if you've seen game 5, man, Chris Paul, I mean, it was time down. They would pick. Chris Paul would get David West on him and take him right to the cup. At one time, he did a double pump 3 and just heat checked that joint and then went in. But Chris Paul scored 20 points, had 7 rebounds, 6 dimes, 3 steals, in a 98-94 win over the Warriors to give them a 3-2 lead. And for that reason, Chris Paul, you are my Strong Arm Performer of the Week. Chris Paul.
That's pretty good, and he deserved it. But wow, bro, I cannot believe you didn't give it to this guy right here. Let me handle this. Bro, if I told you a 33-year-old cyborg played 46 minutes, scored 46 points, he scored a point a minute that he was on the court, basically. It just went absolute ape shit to make sure his team did not get eliminated. LeBron James, I'm telling you, man, I get so sick of the comparisons because instead of people enjoying what he's giving us, every time he do something great, people go, but what so-and-so have done, I hate that.
Me too, man.
Let each of these players be great in their own right. Right now, we are witnessing greatness with LeBron James. Let the man be great, man. Facing elimination to the Boston Celtics, he went out there and played 46 minutes, gave him 46 points, 11 rebounds, and 9 assists to ensure that his team got the victory. For that performance, King James, you are my strong arm performer of the week,
well
bro.
Deserved.
That was impressive.
I knew it was coming. I knew it.
I said, oh shit, Brown finna go crazy. He finna go crazy.
And I expect another big performance from LeBron as well, especially with Kevin Love being out. Hopefully those other guys can show up. But Spade, before I close the show, you got anything else to add?
No, I added some stuff that week that you wasn't here. You had took like this vacation that we didn't know about, and I added some stuff that week. But this week I don't have anything to add.
Kevin Love in concussion protocol, man. He ain't playing Game 7. This is CP3 is out. We gotta. CP3 playing Game 7. He playing, but Spade. It's been a great show, man. I want to thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Strong Arm Sports. As usual, if you new here, bang the subscribe button. It take 2 seconds. If you're a regular here, hit the like button. Also, it's a bell up here. It's a little bell up there. You can click that bell. It sends a notification to your mobile device, so you'll know as soon as a new episode has been uploaded to YouTube. If you don't want to see 2 dudes arguing the box, that's okay. We got you covered. We got audio podcasts everywhere. SoundCloud, UPodOmatic, iTunes. We everywhere. Soon to be on Spotify, still pending. Hey, y'all. People been tweeting me like, when it's going to be on Spotify? Hey, holla at Spotify.
We don't know.
Tweet Spotify. That's what y'all got to do.
That would help. Tweet Spotify and say, when are you guys going to add?
That's what y'all need to do. Don't tweet me. I did my part. It's on Spotify now. Y'all know Spotify done changed their terms of service. They got all these rules now. They getting R. Kelly music off there. Kendrick Lamar threatened to take his music off there, so they put XXX Tentacion, or however you say it, put his music back up there. So Kendrick Lamar staying. They got a lot of things going on. They ain't worried about Strong Arm Sports unless y'all tweet them. Tweet them. Don't tweet me. Tweet them.
Thanks.
But we want to thank y'all for your continued support. We cannot do this show without y'all, man. Thank y'all for watching. We'll see you guys next episode. We out. Peace.